Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. It is December 22nd, 2021. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcasts. And we wouldn't do these but for Mr. Perry's stalking. It is to establish Maine's Ray. It is as instructed by law enforcement, the guys who started the whole thing because of Mr. Perry's dark web peep show. If you don't know anything about that, I suggest you not speak to it. Because sometimes, people start talking about things they don't know anything about. If you investigate the bad guy, you'd probably run right into my guys. But you keep, if you're investigating me, you're trying to get to New York going west from Oklahoma or Texas. Okay, so this is bad. This is a very, very bad situation for everybody involved. Um, we have moved twice. My son and I moved twice to get away from someone who was giving unwanted male attention and attempting to force himself on me against my will. I did not want to have a romance with Mr. Perry. I still don't. Every single day, the same thing happens. I get up, Mr. Perry starts typing in my phone and hitting on me. It is the most disgusting, repulsive thing that I have to wake up to every day. I want no contact, none of any form. And he goes right at it the second I get up. I can't do anything without him butting in. I can't do anything without him telling me what he thinks. I can't do anything without him fucking it all up or trying to. Nothing. And it is grotesque. It is grotesque. And so, thank God, I have Mr. Perry is under a police investigation. And that's how I get this quote right here. And the McNamara email, which he's still trying to do that. He just varies it. Coercion is a crime, Mr. Perry. I don't want anything to do with you. You have no real romance. You're all alone. Nobody's actually with you. 8 years, sir. You're rejected. You'll never get a date with me. I don't like you. I find you disgusting. Deeply, deeply disgusting, Mr. Perry. You have no chance of a date with me. To ride this ride, sir, you have to be a normal man. And you're not. You're not. You're as far outside social norms as it gets. So, every day it's the same thing. I get up, he starts going at me. He starts causing problems with my money. He starts causing problems with everything. And then we start quoting him, and then he wants to know who told on him. And then we're going to wake up tomorrow and it'll be the same thing again. And then we'll wake up tomorrow and it'll be the same thing again. Right now, there is an appeal on the civil court case in Tulsa County. It is CJ 2018 202775. CJ 2018 02775. Their plan was over the weekend, get that denied on Friday. She's going out to her families on Saturday. Get her talking about who's posting what. And if she's posting anything, immediately arrest her. Get her outside talking about her car. Get her driver's license from her. They had somebody, a friend of my relatives, that was supposed to go take my driver's license away from me. But what happened is they interfered with my money, as Chief Miller was complaining when he came to my strip club to talk to me. They can't get their hands out of your wallet. I told them, if you mugged her, 5 guys would attack you. What's the difference? You're doing the same thing. You're just doing it a little different way. Get your hands out of her wallet. That phrase, get your hands out of her wallet, was from Chief Miller. I've said they take my money. They take my money. They're constantly taking my money. It's interference with commerce. It's interference with income. Tortious interference. You've already been sued for that. So, the results and the outcomes, are you getting what you want? You have no cover up. Once the cat's out of the bag, it's out of the bag. And you have no date and no chance of a date. You're not my kind of person. You don't fit in my crowd. Not even close. You got to be normal to ride this ride, and you're not. You can't. You have no idea how to do that. You have no idea how to get women to like you. And it's not the peep and poke, is it? 8 years into this, no chance of a date and no cover up. And how many millions of dollars did you spend? Getting nothing. Getting recorded and recorded and recorded and recorded. 3,700 times, your attorney says. You were told If the emails were from me, you got caught. Leave me the fuck alone. You got caught again messing with me in the forum state of Oklahoma, causing a problem, causing an injury, and an injury the laws are intended to protect me from. In the forum state of Oklahoma, cease and desist. Leave me the fuck alone. 3,700 times. Philip has 3 times that. My guys have 10 times that. Where you are recorded planning an injury, planning a harm, making unwanted contact, and fucking with me in the forum state of Oklahoma. You go into a courtroom, I'm not there. You make sure I'm not there. That right there is an irregularity. You claim you're not doing anything in the state of Oklahoma. Oh, but wait, Judge. He is, because we have all this. We have all this. Right here, there is a Pinto right here. And then there's a Mickey James. And there's a Mr. Robertson before all that. And there's a Terry Wagner. And there's a Joel. So that would be contact in the forum state of Oklahoma. If you're typing in my phone threats, that's also the same thing. So we have this right here. At my work where I am, nobody's going where Perry is. He doesn't have a bunch of damage to his car. He's not having people trying to take his car away. He doesn't have people running his customers off and trying to get in his wallet. He doesn't have anybody trying to take his personal documents like his birth certificate, social security card, driver's license from him. Nobody's calling his family and telling them hurt him for us. But he's doing that to me in the forum state of Oklahoma. And then last night we hear, my guy goes, listen to this. And they're recording somebody go, Judy's going to be pissed off. Judy Parker. Judy Parker was actually a friend of mine. In fact, she was the first person I met in Lubbock at LARW. So I'm new in a new town. I don't know anybody. And I go to LARW, which is the Republican Women's Club. And I sit next to Miss Judy Parker. Judy and I sat together probably most times at maybe not every time, but most times at LARW, because she's the first person I meet. Next time I go back, she's the only person I really know, so I'm going to sit with her again. We start having problems with the LASD. I'm talking to her about it. Her kids go to Friendship. So during all that time, from 2011 to 2014, not one time did I ever mention to her that I was having a problem with Mr. Perry, because at the time I'm trying to be discreet and give him a chance to cut it the fuck out without it being a scandal. 4 years. I kept my mouth shut. Only a few close friends knew. Most of them didn't live in Lubbock. Most of them didn't even live in Texas. 4 years. I kept my mouth shut. That is not what someone does that has a political vendetta against you, Mr. Perry. I had a lot of contacts before I ever met you. Didn't need you for anything. You're the new guy. You're the guy nobody knows, nobody trusts. So I didn't need you. You're also the same guy that said Lubbock has struggles to have a voice in Austin because it's a small voter demographic, 3% of the state. Somebody in Dallas has a lot more pull. So once I moved to the Dallas area, I would have a representative there that has a lot more pull than you. Why would I call you? Now, I've not been in Lubbock for 8 years. I left 8 years ago. 2013. November 2013, I left to get away from you. I didn't want to hear from you anymore. I didn't want to talk to you anymore. I tried to cut off all ties with you. And you continue to force yourself on me, and it makes me feel raped, and I've asked you to stop. 3,700 times, your attorney says. So now they want to impede court processes because they did exactly what we said. They had the judge deny me, and they were supposed to arrest me Saturday so I couldn't get an appeal done. That was the intent. It would have been another false arrest. He's been trying the McNamara email for a long time. Every time it's election time, he wants me back in jail so he can shut me up. But we're quoting him all the time. Michael's drugged. I knew Mike Neely was drugged before that was ever discovered during depositions. I told the Florida State's attorney in January 2020. I told him again in March 2020. And it didn't come out until depositions were taken in May. Officer Neely did not kill anybody. That's why he doesn't have a mark on him that looks like he was in a fight. That's why he was found unconscious. He was drugged. And then months later, sure shit, it was confirmed. I was right. How did I get that information? Mr. Perry is under investigation for an online peep show. He puts cameras in women's homes when they're not at home, and he broadcasts them on the dark web. And I've said this, we have a witness. And he sells watch time. And he likes harassing, and he likes taking their money, and he likes causing a problem. He likes getting women hysterical. And then he goes and rubs one out, the witness says. I'm quoting the witness. He's a sexual sadist. He doesn't like normal shit. But at the end of the day, Mr. Perry, you continue to get caught. You know you have police investigating you, and you keep going at the crime, and you keep getting caught. And we have the same cycle every day. You look like a dog chasing your tail. Every day it's the same thing. You have nothing real. Nobody's with you. You're rejected. I don't like you. I don't like you. You might like me. I don't like you back. You might think I'm pretty. I don't think you're pretty. You might think I'm smart. I don't think you're smart. I don't think you're impressive at all. I think you're a disgust. I think you are a pimple full of pus, oozing and gicking with infection and disease on the ass of society. I think you can't control yourself. I think you have no grasp on reality. I think you need to be locked up. I'm part of the machine trying to do that because you really hurt people, and you hurt them in a way they won't ever get over. All of you guys helping him. All of you guys helping him. Every day you do the same thing. You go at me, you get caught, you want to know who told, and then we do it again tomorrow. And we have more and more and more evidence building and building and building. And all of you are going to need an alibi to prove you're doing anything at all but what I say. Perry, you don't get a date with the peep and poke, do ya? Is that the desired outcome you had on your goal sheet 8 years ago? I want to pester her. I want to get caught and told on more than ever in my life and go to jail and never get the date. I am not in love with you. You absolutely disgust me. I'm not in love with you. And you've got to start telling yourself the truth, sir. I don't like you. I don't like you. I've gone through a great deal of problems and trouble and effort and energy and strength and finances to get you off me. I moved twice. I picked up everything I had built. I walked away from it. Moved to a new place, started all over with a child. A single mom. I'm a single mom with a kid. I did that twice to get away from you so you wouldn't need a conflict. Nobody knew you had a problem until you made things so miserable I had no choice but to take you to court. Sir, 2015, no one knew but a few close friends, most of whom did not live in Texas. And the one or two people that did were because they were my very close friends and they saw you doing weird things that did not add up, things normal people do not do. You choose every day for yourself rejection and to be told on. And you do have done it every day, all day long, for years. Imagine the buildup. If you have 3,700, how 10 times that we have. Because I don't sit down and type up an email over everything that they play for me, Mr. Perry. I have better things to do. I've taught myself the law. I've worked very hard to learn it. I'm not an attorney. You called every attorney and you made sure I couldn't find one to help me. Fine, I'll do it myself. You want to call a judge and have them deny a legitimate claim with no hearing? 12-1031 requires a hearing. Patel versus OMH says we have 2 years to file that. It is for irregularities. It is for fraud. I just showed fraud right here. Everyone can see it. You're off your nut if you think Everyone can't see it. I said no to you. One time is all I should have had to say that. Once. Not every day, all day long, for 8 years. I don't like you. You're a turnoff. I don't like that you hurt people, Mr. Perry. I don't like that you hurt people. This is a contact in the form state of Oklahoma, what you said you weren't doing. You went into that courtroom and you lied. And I have the right to seek a vacation of the motion of the order that arose from your lie. And this is that. This is proof of that. This guy right here came to my work, Mr. Perry, and solicited prostitution for you. And asked me 3 times if I was wearing a wire. And told me I could ruin you politically, to which I said, I don't care. I want for him to leave me the fuck alone. His big picture and my big picture are not the same. I moved twice to get away. All you had to do is leave me the fuck alone. It is illegal to stalk in all 50 states. It is illegal to harass in all 50 states. It is illegal to cause me duress in all 50 states. It is illegal to witness tamper and victim tamper in all 50 states, sir. Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and 1513 prohibits it. And I don't care who you think you bought off. You didn't buy off my guys, did they? Did you? The ones that get me what you just said. And then you want to know who told. Last night, he gets caught again. He's typing in my phone. Is it Al? Is it Z? Is it... Okay, let me tell you something. Never met a guy named Z that I know of. Don't know who the fuck that is. I know, you asked me about Ty. I know 20 Ties. Which one? You asked me about Kim and Jim. I know about 5 Kims and 5 Jims. Which one? Al, I've given, these people work for you. I don't know who they are. Desiree. Who the fuck is Desiree? So, if these are people that you think I know, when and where would I have met them? If I met them dancing, I haven't danced for a year. I danced for 6 years. You know how many guys named Al I gave a lap dance to maybe over that 6 years? Which fucking one is it? Desiree, who the fuck is that? So, quit asking me these questions because I've answered them. I'm not told who your leaks are, and I don't care. I really don't give a fuck. What I care about is that you're making contact with me and I've asked you to get out of my life. Don't hack. Don't peep. Hacking is a crime, sir, in all 50 states. You're not sexy. You're not cute. You're repulsive. You're a turnoff. When you break the law, those laws are there to prohibit offensive conduct. A society is defined in the way that we handle the monsters among us. That's how we handle the monsters among us. You don't do those things, sir, or you go to jail. You think you can buy your way out, but you're not getting to my guys, are you? They don't want your money. You know what they want? They want the notoriety associated with catching a bad guy like you. You're a really bad guy, and that's what I want too. I don't want your money. I don't want your bribery money. I want legitimate money owed to me through a legitimate claim, sought through legitimate means. That's what I want. If my guys tell me I can get you restitution, I'm going to leave that in their hands. Then they can do it as however they see fit. What I want for you to do, Mr. Perry, is get the fuck out of my phone, get the fuck out of my computer, get the fuck out of my life, quit peeping, quit hacking. It's not even working for you. Do not bother me again. Get your hands out of my wallet. Your own guy said, when he pesters her and he takes her money, things don't go well for us. We're seeing things happen we've never seen before, like this weekend maybe. You wanted me arrested at my family's house. You wanted my driver's license taken. But you fucked with my money all week, so I was too broke to go out there. I could have busted my butt doing Uber Eats and made a little for gas to go out there. And my guy says, no, don't do that. They're going to hurt you out there. Just let it go. Just stay away from it right now. Leave it alone. Don't do it. Here's what you need to do. Listen to this recording, and let's deal with that right now. You don't need to be out there right now. They're going to hurt you. He's going to use your family, again, to hurt you. And that, by the way, that's psychological torture for them. I know my family. My family doesn't hurt people. They're very loving. They're very kind. They're very giving. They're very helpful to anyone they can help. They will take the shirt off their back to help someone else in need. They're not going to hurt me on purpose. If they do, it's because you threatened them. You coerced. You intimidated. Psychologically tortured, our shrink says. When he gets people close to you to hurt you, it is psychological torture because now they feel guilt. They're scared. They're worried. They're upset. It causes them anxiety. They don't want to hurt you. They care about you. They love you. You're their family. They've known you all your life. You know how long they've known Mr. Perry? A couple of years. He's not family. He's an outside intruder and a criminal. They know what he's asking them to do is wrong. They're left, they feel like they don't have a choice. It's like the Nazis. When they would grab some kid, shoot that Jew or I'll shoot you. It's no different. It is disgusting that you like to torment people that way. So you feel tough. I'm sorry that your cousin abused you as a child. A lot of people get abused, Mr. Perry. I've continually talked about Lonnie Athens. He's a criminologist at Seton Hall University. He wrote a book called Why They Kill, where he reviews brutalization, victimization, violent criminals, violent offenders. Only 1% of the population is a violent offender, Mr. Perry. 1% of the population can't keep up with the 99 who do not act like you act. 1% of the population can't find a way to respond properly to what happened to them and use it for good. He did. He was a victim of child abuse. That's what made him study all this. So if you can't keep up with everybody else, I'm sorry for you. You have given your offender control over you still. She still owns you. She still has all the power. You became just like her. The way to have had victory over her and over what happened to you is you choose to do good with it. And you've not done that. You've chosen to perpetrate what she did to you on other people, taking it out on everybody else. You should have let God heal you of that, and you didn't. You're in church. You go up to your altar. You get on your hands and knees, and you ask God to heal you. And then you let him heal you. And you control the movie in your head. We all have a movie in our head all the time. We choose. It is the one thing we can control. We can't control what everybody else does to us. We can't control what happens. There can be a tornado. We just saw a tornado wipe out a fucking town. There was a man on TikTok that said, I haven't prayed for 5 years. I am close to God right now. I prayed that whole time. I prayed for hours while that tornado blew through my home. And I have nothing left. That was God. That was the weather. No one controls that, do they? You know, same thing could happen in Lubbock tomorrow. Tornadoes happen. Nobody did something to him. It was just an act of God. I think they even call that on insurance policies an act of God is a tornado or a hurricane. And then there's things that people do to us intentionally, like Mr. Perry does to me, my family. Guess what my family chooses to do? We're going to find somebody to help today. We're going to find somebody to bless today. We're going to fight the crime. We're going to document what's happening to us. And we're going to make this world a better place than it was when we got here. We're not going to be bitter. We're not going to be, believe me, I get pissed. And Mr. Perry, right now, you do not want to piss me off. I promise you don't want to piss me off. I mean, you've got 8 years of getting caught and told on and rejected and caught and told on and rejected. So, of course, it is absolutely your choice to take my money, to contact me against my will, to invade my privacy, to butt into matters that don't concern you. You can do that today as same as you did yesterday, and you'll get the same results. You want to piss me off, breaking the law to cause me injury? Yeah, that's going to piss me off. I'm reacting normally to an abnormal situation. I'm a victim of crime. I'm re-traumatized every fucking day. This was traumatizing. But you know what? I'm standing at the bar when this guy came to me at my work. I didn't go where he was. I don't know this man. He came to me. And he's one of like hundreds of people, but 5 that I've actually documented with a text or an email or something, or this recording. I'm standing at the bar. My manager was on the other side of the bar serving drinks. I could have looked up at my manager and said, "This man works for my stalker. Get him out of here. Get the bouncer." I didn't do that. I flipped on my recording and I got my evidence, Mr. Perry. And you've not had anybody do that. You're seeing things happen that you've never seen before. And when he did this, we had an ongoing lawsuit, and that was inappropriate contact. This is harassment outside the court. You don't have the right to impede court proceedings. You don't have the right to get in my wallet so I can't fight you in court. You don't have the right to send somebody to try to coerce me. It was him, or it was Mickey James, or it was Terry Wagner. That is as RICO violation as it gets, sir. You will go to jail. Mr. Perry, write it down. You will go to jail for this stuff. There is an ongoing investigation on you, sir. That's how I knew, everything that you're asking. Who told you? You asked me who told. Then you know I know. Cat's out of the bag. And once it's out, it's out. It's out running all around. You're not getting that back in. You spill the milk is spilled. Even if you put it back in the carton, it's not the same. You can see little dirt particles floating around. You need to get a grip on reality, sir. You're seeing things happen you've never seen before when you fuck with me. When you fuck with me, of course, I'm going to be pissed off. You're breaking the law. It's causing me injury. I don't like being violated in my house. I don't. No one does. I don't like being violated every time I try to, pick up my phone to check emails or check texts from people I want to contact from. And you're typing in my phone. I don't want to hear it. Who's Al? Who's Z? Which Jim? Which Kim? Who's Desiree? Judy's going to be pissed. Judy Parker? Judy Parker is kind of a witness, actually. So if she's a judge here, she needs to recuse herself. And why are you going into her courtroom alleging things again that are false claims? Huh? You're going to jail for this. You're going to jail for judicial bribery, Mr. Perry. No one has done what we've done, have they? Judy Parker was my friend for the whole time I lived in Lubbock. Not one time did I ever mention to her any kind of political vendetta against you, or even that you were stalking me. Didn't to Judge Harker either. Judge Harker and I went to lunch a couple of times to talk about his political campaign, whatever. So, what is your problem? When I say to you, when you bother me, you get told on. When you bother me, you get told on. You're never going to get a date with me. You don't have anything real. Nobody's with you. You're not actually going out to dinner with somebody on a date. 8 years, you've never had that. You're never going to have that. You repulse me. You're a job. Write it down. You are a job for me, Mr. Perry. The goal is to stop your crime. It is hideous. It is nasty. You are a gross man. You had a choice. You had a choice to get on your knees and ask God to heal you and let him heal you, and he would have. Or become just like your offender and go to jail at some point because you're committing a crime against other people and you're blaming the abuse. That's your excuse. And we all have these choices and we all have to live with them. Karma is in all religions, sir. Be not deceived. God isn't mocked. You reap what you sow. So, Judge Parker is actually a witness because she can testify to what I said or didn't say. She never told me there was a problem with politics or stalking. I had no idea. Judy and I never ever talked about you. There's a whole lot more interesting things we talked about our kids. Judy and I mostly talked about our kids, school, that type of thing. We never talked about you. You didn't matter. You didn't matter. The only people I told about what you were doing were the people that saw you do weird shit. I didn't have a choice. Why is Catherine come sit right next to us every fucking Wednesday at Carino's? Right, she works for Perry. Why is she here? Did you invite her here? Nope, didn't invite her. So, I gotta explain that. There was something you said that was bizarro. that I'm telling a friend of mine about. And my friend goes, that is the weirdest fucked up thing I've ever heard. And I had to explain why you said it. Now I don't even remember what the hell it was. Frank Morrison's telling me something about you spreading rumors about you and I having an affair. I had to talk to him about it. And then I text you. And then Matt's going, well, we say that she just misunderstood Frank. Calling up here. Who was he talking to? Mike Neely? Was it Mike Neely that said, you can say that, but I don't think it'll work? Mr. Perry never asks her why she's mad, which means he already knew. He doesn't deny spreading rumors of an affair. He denies having employees, and everyone knows he had employees. Was that Mike Neely? Is that why he is where he is? Because he called you on your bullshit? You can't beat a man to death when you're unconscious and have not a mark on you. You can't do it. No man in the history of anything has ever done that while asleep, with his ass, or one hand, beat someone to death and ended up with not a mark on him. You tell me who has ever done that, Mr. Perry. You're horrible. You're a monster. We all want you in jail so you can't hurt people anymore. It's not about, it's not about anything but that. Quit hurting me. Quit hurting people. Quit hurting my family. You'll go to jail. We're not doing this 3,700 emails about 3,700 recordings. And I have my guys have 10 times that. We're not doing that because we're bored, sir. We're not doing that because we just have nothing else to do. We're doing that because we want to stop the bad guy. My granddad, I was raised by police. Don't ever pick a victim that knows a bunch of cops or comes from police. That right there, golly. So this guy tells me, sleep with them for $5,000. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I will. This is called solicitation of prostitution, Mr. Perry. You wanted me to be with you for $5,000, and I was like, ew, I don't think so. There's no amount of money that I would do that for, Mr. Perry. You see this? Now listen, get richer. He will really be nice, and he'll pay you $5,000 for one night. And I'm like, yeah, no. I can't stomach it. I can't stomach it. You have no chance of a date with me ever, Mr. Perry. None. So we get all this from last night that they want to know who told you? He's typing in my phone. Who told you? Who told you? Who told me this? I wasn't supposed to be able to appeal because you wanted to arrange a second false arrest. Duly noted for the record. Duly noted for the record. You couldn't keep your hands out of my wallet, so I couldn't afford to go. I'm telling my guys, I can quick go, do a couple of Uber Eats deliveries and make a little cash. And then put gas in my car and go. And they're like, huh? He goes, no. They're going to hurt you out there. Just chill. Just fucking chill. Let it go. Let this backfire on them. They fucked with your money. Let it backfire on them. When you mess with me, Mr. Perry, you don't get a date. You get told on. And we have all this. And now this one, here's the that was your plan, sir. Everyone knows it. You plan to send me home and harass the hell out of me. And then when I complain about it, say you're being harassed. You're not a victim. Go away. You're not supposed to be up in Oklahoma. Sending guys like Pinto or Mickey James or David Robertson. And you did go into court and you did lie. And you got to answer for that in one court or the other. If you mess up the civil claims, Mr. Perry, doing something illegal, the guys that get me, the McNamara email and the Mike was drugged email and all this, sir, will deal with it in their courtroom. And they're a lot scarier than I am. They're a lot scarier than I am. You want to piss me off, sir, but make sure you can live with it. Make sure you can live with the consequences. I wouldn't recommend you piss me off now. I wouldn't. And the only way you piss me off is you're breaking the law, and you're contacting me, and you're invading my privacy, and you can't get your hands out of my wallet. And you're fucking with my family. All you have to do is go live your life in Lubbock. You're going to need the alibi. I don't know how many different ways I need to say that. You're going to have to prove where you were, what you were doing with your time. Prove it. Not throw some schmuck up on the stand that you threatened into a lie. You have to prove it, sir. that you were doing anything and everything but fucking with me. And that goes for all of you people on Team Perry. There's two teams here. Have been since I got here. Team Cynthia, Team Perry. So it's a fight. It's ridiculous. We've heard it. It's like, oh my God, what in the fuck? You guys who chose Team Perry, we get that you like the money. I'd like to see you work for him for free. Do the same thing he's asking you to do for free. I'd like to see that. Because guess what? The people on Team Cynthia are not getting paid. They're doing it because they're doing the right thing to do, because it's the right thing to do. At the end of the day, these things come out where you get honored. Do you understand what I'm saying? You get honored when you do the right thing to do. Look what happened to my granddad. I watched blood, sweat, tears, anxiety, crying, loss, stress, adversity, and his name is on the front door of the police department where he was the chief now to this day. He was involved in setting up the UFO museums that bring in millions to that city. He doesn't believe in aliens. He said, I don't believe aliens even exist, much less that they landed in Roswell. Here's what happened. But some people want to believe it. Let them believe it. Let them come look. Let them come check it out, and they can form their own opinion. That's his. His legacy, though, was relieve suffering caused by crime. That was his legacy. It's not for sale, Mr. Perry. It is not for sale. What I've asked you to do is don't cause me duress. It's called coercion, sir. Interference with commerce. Interference with my money. It just bit you in the ass again. You get up every day. You cause a problem. You get caught. You want to know who told. You don't get a date. There's never anything real. There's nothing. You're by yourself. You're all alone. There's no relationship. There's nothing. You have no real love life. You're alone and rejected. I left. I moved twice to get away from you. I've sued you 3 times to make you leave me alone. Stalking is a crime in all 50 states. People don't like it when you do that. RICO violations are a crime. People don't like it when you do that, sir. So you want to keep doing the same thing that gets you the same results? Have at it. I'm sure you can live with your choices. Okay? I don't like you. I really don't. I'm never going to like you. You have to be normal, sir, to ride this ride. And you can't. You should have let God heal you, instead of becoming exactly like your offender and using that as an excuse to fail. Lonnie Athens did not. He's making a difference in the world of crime prevention. Okay? You have a choice. I'm sure you can live with your choices.